Today, we're continuing our conversation about early finance education, and this time we'll dive deeper into the idea of energy and influence within families. So how does a child's environment shape their future, especially when it comes to financial education?
It's fascinating. We talked about how children absorb energy, right? And so Sungnim mentions that the type of visitors a household gets can influence a child's future. If parents live in a certain way, it attracts certain types of people, and those people have a big impact on the child's development.
Exactly. It's like if your parents have a bunch of debt collectors around, there's a chance you might end up in that line of work too. It all starts with what kind of energy the parents put out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's not just about who visits, it's about the choices the parents make and the example they set. If politicians or business leaders frequent your house, the kids are more likely to be influenced by that and follow in those footsteps.
That makes sense. So, you could say that a child's success or failure is influenced heavily by the environment their parents create. It's not just about giving kids everything. They need guidance from the right kind of energy around them.
Right. And when we bring up people like Warren Buffett who started making money as a teenager, it's because they were exposed to that energy from an early age. But then we also look at the Jewish community, and they've been able to build success across generations by fostering that type of education and environment early on.
The Jewish community has done something unique, right? Their success is visible in science, business, and culture. People recognize that, and it's built on years of hard work, commitment, and contribution to society.
That's true. But then Sungnim contrasts that with Korea, which hasn't been as internationally recognized, even though it's been evolving and developing. It's an interesting point. We've been focused on our own country, and now the world is starting to take notice, but there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, and he mentions that it's not just about money or power, but about contribution. That's what truly builds recognition. So what's it going to take for Korea to be acknowledged globally, like the Jewish community?
It seems like it's about producing meaningful work that benefits the world. If the intelligentsia, those around 50 years old, step up and lead the charge, Korea could start to be evaluated on the global stage. But it requires collective effort, starting with the right education and mindset.
And what's fascinating is the idea that the analog generation, those born just after the war, are the last generation without mixed ancestry. They're the foundation of the progress we're seeing today, especially in the field of knowledge and international recognition.
That's really profound. It's like there's a passing of the baton happening right now. And with this new generation, we might see Korea not just survive, but thrive globally in ways it hasn't before.
Speaking of thriving, Sungnim also talks about how the average lifespan is increasing. People are living longer, especially those around 50, who will live to be 90 or even 100 in the future. It's almost as if they're given more time to do meaningful work.
Exactly. And this extended lifespan isn't just a coincidence. It's because people with knowledge and skills are now able to extend their life for a purpose. It's about what you contribute during that time.
That's an interesting perspective. It's not just about living longer. It's about making the time you have count. So how does this all tie back to early finance education?
Well, it comes down to the fact that the way you live, how you educate your children, and the environment you create for them all contribute to what kind of life they'll lead. It's not just about teaching them how to make money, but about teaching them the principles that guide their actions and choices in life.
Exactly. And Sungnim says something important. Don't pour all your energy into your children. Spend about 70% on yourself and 30% on them. If you give too much, it'll backfire, and both you and your children will suffer. It's all about balance.
It's a delicate balance, isn't it? If you give too much energy, you're not helping your children develop the skills they need to handle life on their own. And ultimately, both you and they will face difficulties.
So it's about finding that sweet spot, giving your children the right amount of guidance and support, but not overburdening them or yourself. That's the path to a meaningful, rewarding life.
Yes, and it's about living joyfully, not just financially successful. Sungnim stresses that a society living well is one where the people are happy and blissful. Happiness comes from meaningful work, not just wealth.
It's a much deeper kind of success, isn't it? True fulfillment doesn't come from money alone. It comes from contributing to something bigger than yourself and finding joy in the process.
That's the essence of a society living well: joy, bliss, and fulfillment. And if we can achieve that, then we're truly living the way we're meant to.
So in the end, early finance education is about more than just money. It's about creating a foundation for a well-rounded, fulfilled life that contributes to society as a whole.
Exactly. The true measure of success is not just how much you earn, but how much you give and how joyfully you live. That's the real wealth.